I thought I had the perfect life. Okay. A loving wife, a beautiful home, and a future that seemed brighter than ever. My wife, Marissa, and I had been together for 7 years, married for 4. She was my everything, the person I shared my deepest secrets and biggest dreams with. We had this comfortable routine, this rhythm to our lives that felt so secure, so unbreakable. But I was wrong. The foundation of my world was about to be shattered by a betrayal I never saw coming, all while she played the part of the perfect wife right in front of my eyes. It started subtly. Little things that on their own meant nothing. A new password on her phone, which she explained was for security reasons after a friend got hacked. Late nights at the office became more frequent, but she was up for a promotion, so I was her biggest cheerleader. I'd have dinner waiting for her, and she'd come in, kiss me, and tell me how exhausted she was. She seemed tired, but she was still my Marissa. She'd ask about my day, we'd watch a little TV, and fall asleep in each other's arms. How could I have suspected anything was wrong? The first real crack appeared on a Tuesday. I had a terrible day at work and decided to leave early to surprise her. I bought her favorite flowers and a bottle of wine, picturing the smile on her face, but when I got home, the house was empty. I called her, and she answered, sounding a little breathless. She said she was still at the office, buried in paperwork. I told her not to work too hard and that I'd see her later. I didn't think much of it until I saw her car parked at the local gym. The same gym she decanceled her membership 2 months ago because she said it was too expensive. I sat in my car, staring at her vehicle, my heart starting to pound. My mind raced, trying to find a logical explanation. Maybe she reactivated her membership and forgot to tell me. Maybe she was meeting a friend. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but a seed of doubt had been planted. I drove home, put the flowers in a vase, and tried to act normal. When she finally came home hours later, she gave me the same old story about a tough day at the office. I asked her casually, "Hey, I thought you canceled your gym membership." She froze for a split second, then laughed it off. "Oh, my friend Sarah dragged me along for a guest pass. It was a one-time thing." The lie was so smooth, so effortless, it chilled me to the bone. From that day on, I started paying closer attention. The late nights weren't just about work anymore. Sometimes she'd say she was out with her girlfriends, but when I'd casually text one of them the next day, they'd have no idea what I was talking about. The distance between us grew, not physically, but emotionally. We were sleeping in the same bed, but it felt like there were miles between us. She was always on her phone, smiling at the screen, and would quickly put it away if I walked into the room. She was becoming a stranger. The emotional toll was immense. I felt like I was going crazy, constantly questioning my own sanity. Was I being paranoid? Was I imagining things? I loved this woman with all my heart, and the thought that she could be deceiving me was a pain worse than anything I'd ever felt. I stopped sleeping well. Every time her phone buzzed, my stomach would clench. She was still acting the part of the perfect wife, making us dinner, talking about our future, even planning a vacation for our anniversary. It was like living in 2 separate realities at the same time. The loving home she created during the day felt like a stage set for a play I did and know I was a part of. I decided I couldn't live in this state of suspense any longer. I needed the truth, no matter how much it hurt. One evening, she said she was going out for a girls' night. I had a gut feeling this was it. My friend, who had been my confidant through this whole ordeal, offered to help. He followed her from our house. I sat at home, my phone in my hand, my heart hammering against my ribs. An hour later, he called. His voice was grim. "Colton, she's not with her friends. She's at a hotel downtown." He sent me the address. My world just stopped. Felt like all the air had been sucked out of the room. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't paranoia. This was real. I don't know how I managed to drive there, but I did. I parked across the street from the hotel, my hands shaking so badly I could barely grip the steering wheel. A few minutes later, I saw her. She walked out of the lobby laughing, holding hands with a man I recognized from her office. They shared a long, passionate kiss right there under the hotel lights before getting into his car. Seeing it with my own eyes was a different kind of pain. It was a definitive, brutal end to the hope I had been clinging to. The image is burned into my memory. The way she looked at him, the same way she used to look at me. In that moment, 7 years of my life, of our life felt like a lie. I drove home in a daze. When Marissa walked through the door a couple of hours later, humming a happy tune, she found me sitting on the couch in the dark, with all her things packed in boxes around me. The look of shock on her face was something I'll never forget. The mask finally dropped. There were no more lies, no more excuses. There was just the ugly, devastating truth. The confrontation was a blur of tears and accusations. She tried to explain, to apologize, but the words were empty. The trust was gone, completely and irrevocably shattered. How can you rebuild a life with someone who could look you in the eyes and lie every single day, or while pretending everything was normal? The answer is, you can't. Walking away from my marriage was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It's a long and painful process, and some days are harder than others. Betrayal leaves deep scars, and learning to trust again, not just others, but my own judgment, is a journey. But I'm healing. I'm rediscovering who I am outside of that relationship. If you're going through something similar, please know that you are not alone, and your feelings are valid. It's okay to feel broken, but you are not broken beyond repair. Seek support from friends, family, or a professional. You deserve honesty, respect, and a love that doesn't force you to live in the shadows of deceit. Thank you for listening to my story. Please subscribe for more content, and take care of yourselves.